The grid with the two Americans, Mamela on the Suzuki and Roberts Yamaha. Also there, the Dutchman Jack Middelburg on a privately entered Suzuki and Lucanelli. But let's now join the race commentators, former world champion John Surtees and Murray
All the riders
Walker.
are off their machines, most of them on the left-hand side to push. In fact, all of them. Just one rider on the right-hand side of his machine to push. They're straining now. They've got the front brake on. They're leaning on the handlebars to get the weight pushing forward. The flag goes and away. Now, Crosby has got a superb start. Graham Crosby in pole position, and Freddie Spencer has got the Honda firing well, and it's Kenny Roberts second, and Barry Sheene third, and Marco Lucanelli in fourth position. Number 4 is Crosby. Graham Crosby, the New Zealand rider on the Works Suzuki, leads Kenny Roberts, the world champion, as they go round the left-hander at Maggots. Now up into 6th gear, down towards Beckett's, where they go right down through the gearbox into 2nd. Over 8,000 RPM, round Beckett's, and it is Crosby leading Roberts, leading Sheene in 3rd position. And in 4th position, it's Marco Lucanelli, and you see them back to the right and the left, and now they go down the Hanger Straight with Crosby, Roberts, Sheene, Lucanelli, Mamola, and then Port Ballington on the Kawasaki. From Stowe up to Club Corner. From Club up to Abbey. It's 5th gear and up to 135 miles an hour here. Now into top gear, nearly 150 miles an hour. Then they have to anchor up after Abbey for Woodcote, the tremendously fast right-hander. No chicane for the motorcycles, unlike the car Grand Prix. And it is Graham Crosby leading at the end of lap 1 with 27 laps to go. Kenny Roberts, Sheene is challenging Roberts. Then it's Lucanelli, and behind Lucanelli, Mamola. And behind Mamola is Cork Ballington, and Lucanelli is starting to close on the 3 in front of him. Barry Sheene has had trouble with his tyres in a lot of races this year. There he is, the world champion of 1976 and 1977. With that peculiar riding stance of his caused by injuries that he had in Daytona many years ago. And it's still Crosby. Sheene in 3rd position. The world champion, Kenny Roberts, in 2nd place. Marco Lucanelli, the world championship leader, in 4th place. In the red helmet in the background is Randy Mamola. And Roberts leads. Kenny Roberts, then, who had trouble with his tyres, and more about this, takes the lead. So, Crosby leads, then Roberts, then Sheene, behind Sheene, Marco Lucanelli, all 4 together with Randy Mamola 5th.
Well, these machines seem so evenly matched on power that this seems the name of the game. This slipstreaming and this taking the sort of corner, entering Woodcote.
Keith Ewan, the man who did so well in the 350 race at the beginning of the afternoon, finishing in 2nd place, is out of the 500 class already on his Suzuki. Hard luck, but Graham Crosby on his Suzuki is still very much in the running. Leading on lap 3, number 4, Graham Crosby. Roberts next, Sheene 3rd, number 2, Marco Lucanelli 4th, number 3, Randy Mamola is in 5th position, and off goes Graham Crosby, and past him goes Lucanelli. That looks like Barry Sheene off as well, but was it? That's Crosby. He's getting down behind the barrel, behind the hay bale, and immediately goes to the assistance of his fellow competitor, and I think Marco Lucanelli has got through. The yellow flag's waving to warn the competitors behind them that somebody has come off.
No, I think Lucanelli went as well, Mo.
Here we go. Here's a replay. Let's have a look at it. Graham Crosby.
Here we have...
Watch Graham Crosby's rear wheel. He's still got control of the bike. He heels it right over. and away it goes. Completely lost adhesion, a great puff of rubber smoke. Down goes Crosby. He looks as though he's got his leg mostly clear. Through goes Roberts. So Roberts got through there anyway. And there's another machine. That's Barry Sheene coming into the picture, all doubled up. And past him, that's Marco Lucinelli. So Lucinelli keeps rolling. Graham Crosby is kicking the machine away from him. Barry Sheene is off. The race continues, and it is now into lap 4. And on lap 4, the race order after this contretemps on the earlier lap, in the lead now is Randy Mamela, and in second position is Kenny Roberts, and in third place Cork Ballington. And that's Marco Lucinelli, who is way down now, of course, because a lot of riders went past him. And you can see marshals in the background waving them down because they're coming up to the danger point. And look at Cork Ballington. Cork Ballington in the green leathers is coming up extremely well. In fact, Ballington is challenging now. Ballington is right up with the leaders. So it's Kenny Roberts leading as they come into Woodcote at the end of lap 4. Kenny Roberts leading, then it's Mamela. Cork Ballington is in third position, and Jack Middelburg, the Dutchman, is in fourth place. Well, Kenny Roberts going round the outside of Randy Mamela. I remind you that Lucinelli is out of the running. Barry Sheene is out. Graham Crosby is out. Drama right at the beginning of the British Grand Prix, but now Kenny Roberts and Mamela and Cork Ballington and Jack Middelburg all virtually locked together and overlapping, and Freddie Spencer on the Honda is in fifth position. We'll be able to see the gap soon between these four. This is the battle for the lead, and this is lap 5 out of 28. And we've heard the news that Barry Sheene is up on his feet, and we believe that he is okay.
Well, that was terrible luck for Barry. I think what happened was that they were so dicing into the corner, leaving their braking to the very latest point, that Crosby had to sort of try and tighten the corner, and when he went to apply the power, it was just a little too much angle on the machine, and as you see, he just ploughed the back wheel away.
And the thing that I think is of tremendous significance as we look at Marco Lucinelli, who had to slow right down and go off the course in that lap 3, falling of Sheene and Crosby, and Roberts having to go through. Roberts is leading now. Mamela is second. Cork Ballington is going better in this Grand Prix than I've ever seen him go before.
Well, talking to Cork in practice, he was very concerned about the anti-dive characteristics on the front of the Kawasaki, but it appears from this that he certainly made some improvements in that last practice.
Cork Ballington, that's the rider in the green leathers on the green Mini Kawasaki. The highest placing that he's had in a Grand Prix so far this year is third in Holland. The Kawasaki was introduced last year, the 500, that's number 9 that we're looking at now, and he's in third position on lap 6. He's being ridden by Cork Ballington, who is 4 times world champion in the 250 and 350 classes in 1978 and 79. But now, into lap 7, Kenny Roberts, number 1, the reigning world champion, leads, fighting against Randy Mamela, who has now retaken the lead from Roberts, and Cork Ballington is not losing an inch on any of them. Into the hangar straight on lap 10 out of 28. First, second, third, fourth together. On the left, Roberts. And Cork Ballington is now up into second position.
And Roberts is in the lead.
Middelburg is right up alongside Mamela and momentarily had third position.
Of course, Middelburg could be the fly in the ointment here, because he is the one who has nothing to lose but everything to gain, perhaps even a works ride next year.
Kenny Roberts, number 1, because he is world champion, not just in 1980, but in 1979 and 1978 as well. acknowledging that he has little chance of winning the World Championship. At least he acknowledged before the race that that was in a situation where he, like me, could not envisage Marco Lucinelli not finishing in the points, and Lucinelli is showing no sign of that at the moment. And it's still Randy Mamola just leading. Number 2 is Marco Lucinelli, who is slipping back all the time. This titanic scratch for the lead of the 1981 Marlborough British Grand Prix here at Silverstone is climaxing all the time, if that's possible. And Randy Mamola rides right round the outside of Kenny Roberts, an astounding manoeuvre. If you can ride round the outside of Kenny Roberts on a corner, you can truly say you've arrived. And now Roberts fights back.
Yes, there's no real point in it there, because all what happened was that Mamola came to the corner first, but Roberts was able to pick up a little slipstream and then be in a better position to outbrake.
And the news of Barry Sheene that we have just had given to us, and it's official, is that he only has a gashed hand. A very, very lucky man, and Graham Crosby is perfectly okay. So a very nasty looking fall on the 3rd lap, but happily no real problems in terms of physical injuries, but a lot of mental injury, of course, to Graham Crosby, who went out. Well, he might well have won the race, and Barry Sheene too. But Roberts, number 1, leads. Mamola, number 3, second on the Suzuki, and Roberts on a Yamaha. Cork Ballington on the Kawasaki, holding on superbly, staving off the 4th man, Middelburg, and they are all closing on number 2, Marco Lucinelli, who leads the World Championship, who looks over his shoulder despairingly, and that is what he sees. Roberts and Mamola. Cork Ballington either can't or doesn't want to do anything about it, and nor can Middelburg.
I don't think he really can do anything about it. In practice, he was that much down on times, and at the present sort of stage of the race, these two are obviously tending to sort of feel each other out. It may be that with the temperature, the lap time is the sort of best sort of time they can do, and I'm sure that they can get away from Cork in the later stages if they wish.
John, and there's look, incredible. There's Marco Lucinelli. He knows they've caught him. He gives a cheery wave. He's called Lucky, and he's known for being a great practical joker and full of fun. He wasn't full of fun when John Surtees and I tried to talk to him this morning. He was in such a state of nerves that he was haranguing everybody, but now he seems to have recovered, and he's let his rivals through without any problems at all. All 4 of them. Marco Lucinelli has been lapped, and he is right out of World Championship points, no doubt about that. It's going to be an enormously close thing for the World Championship when this race finishes, if Roberts or Mamola win the race. And we are now on lap 18 in this 28-lap race. Laps 14, 15, 16, Kenny Roberts crossed the line first. Lap 17, Randy Mamola, number 3, the 21-year-old American from Santa Clara, California, crossed the line first.
I'm trying to see where Cork is. It appears that during that lapping, he either got dropped back or else he's in some form of problems.
I don't
because
see...
now we've got Ballington.
The first 3 have now shaken back clear of Ballington for some reason or another. We'll watch very carefully as they go through Abbey and complete the lap for Cork Ballington. Roberts comes up alongside Mamola, and he's going to take the wide line and the lead in the process. Roberts, Mamola, Middelburg is the order. Lucinelli goes through and has been lapped. Not a sign, and I'm looking right down the circuit as you watch these riders go to Cox, and Ballington is coming into the pits. Cork Ballington is coming into the pits. There he is. A fine, determined ride. There's the Kawasaki.
That's a great shame, actually, because speaking to the mechanics during practice, they said they just hadn't had a single engine blow-up for the past 4 Grand Prix. They just ran the engine for 1,000 miles and that was it. So Great shame.
So, Sheen out, who could have won. Crosby out, who could have won. Spencer out, who couldn't have won, I think, to be fair, but was riding extremely well and better on the Honda than it's ever gone before, as Mamela comes up alongside and again takes Kenny Roberts. Cork Ballington out, who might conceivably have won, and there's no doubt about the fact that Ballington is out. In fourth position is Bernard Foe, who has moved up. In fifth position it is Mark Fontaine. In sixth position it's Bert van Dulmen. In seventh position it is Stu Avant. And in eighth position it is Ikujira Takai, the Japanese rider. And the battle for the lead continues. Down Hanger Straight. Roberts, Mamela and Middelburg.
What is interesting there is that whereas Roberts can pull out of the slipstream of Mamela and pass him on braking, it doesn't appear that the same quite applies the reverse. It may be that the Yamaha has just a slight edge on top-end speed.
Are you going to stick your neck out and make a forecast for the win, John?
No, at the moment I think they're weighing each other up too well. I cannot believe that this is the true situation. I think that what they're doing is they're testing each other. They're seeing where they have a slight advantage, and that they will then choose a part in the race when they will try and make a break.
And the great news for British motorcycle enthusiasts is that Dave Potter is up into 7th place, the man who won the Superbike Championship, and Middelburg waves. The man Potter is up into 7th place, notwithstanding the fact that he is riding with a broken bone and in great pain in his left arm, and has a special tummy pad to take the braking stresses from the Yamaha here at Silverstone, and they are very considerable. The lap speeds are going down slightly, and Middelburg goes up. Middelburg moves up ahead of Mamela. Tremendous stuff at the front on lap 22. We're getting towards the closing stages of the race, and the pace is not diminishing at all. In fourth position, still Bernard Foe. Let's not forget there's a lot of other riders. There is Foe. And right with him, number 16 in fifth position is Mark Fontaine. So there's just a closer battle for fourth position as there is for first, second and third. And it's these two Frenchmen who are battling. And behind them is Bert van Dulmen. So there are two Dutchmen in the first 6 places. Middelburg, who is third, van Dulmen, who is 6th. And Middelburg is the third of these 3. Roberts leads this time, Mamela second this time. Middelburg is still third, and they're coming up to close and lap yet another tail ender. And
this is the critical point. It's a point of how they will get out of Club Corner and take the acceleration under the bridge down here into Woodcote. Because remember that dice with Barry... Remember the dice which took place with Barry some years ago? That was the critical point. And it does look as if the Yamaha has just a slight edge on top-end speed. Mind you, the Suzukis were fitted with bigger bore carburetors and a different exhaust system to try and improve the top-end speed for this particular race.
1 minute 33.01, incredible consistency. That lap time from Kenny Roberts, 113.3 to the nearest 100th of a second. After 23 laps, there's the order. It's a 28-lap race. And it confirms that then Roberts lead Mamela and Middelburg, with Foe, Fontaine and Van Dulmen, the Dutchman, in 6th position. And Kenny Roberts has now got, for this race, a tremendous lead. It must be all of 3 machine lengths.
Well, this is one of the problems which I hope doesn't affect the race, i.e. that they don't come up on a bunch of people to lap just at the very crucial point of those last few laps. This could make all the difference. But as much as these two know each other very well, the fly in the ointment again could be Middelburg. If he happens to put himself just in the wrong point on that last lap, it could upset all their calculations.
Randy Mamela, who is in 2nd position, and again takes his hand off the clutch side of the handlebars and looks over his shoulder to see where Middelburg is. And he saw Middelburg as close to him as he saw Roberts when he looked back earlier on. Randy Mamela freely acknowledges that he learnt all his tricks and a lot of his skill from the man in front of him, Kenny Roberts, who took Mamela under his wing earlier on in his career. and helped to sponsor him and helped teach him how to ride a motorcycle at speed, and how well he succeeded and how well Middelburg is riding.
Well, one of the things here is that it's like the old saying, two's a company, three's certainly not, because that could be the problem.
Well, three's a crowd in this situation, and Jack Middelburg seems to be very anxious to break clear of them. I don't think he's going to do it, I really don't, but I take my hat off to him for the way he's riding, and he's riding on lap 25. At the end of this lap, in what has seemed to me the shortest British Grand Prix on record, and that's not because the race distance has been any shorter, it's because the race has been so terrific at the front. There are only 3 laps to go at the end of this one, and they're coming up to round Woodcote and cross the line and start lap 26 now. They being Roberts, Mamola, Middelburg, then a long gap before number 10, Bernard Foe, goes through, followed very closely by Mark Fontaine, followed at a respectful distance by Boat van Dalen. No change in the first 6. The first 3 have gone, and soon Bernard Foe should come into the picture, and that shows you how long a gap there is between the battle for the lead and the battle for 4th and 5th, and still Foe and Fontaine had not appeared as the leaders start to streak. And again down the Hanger Straight, and again Mamola comes out of Chapel faster and goes down into Stowe Corner. The 3rd gear, 110 right-hander. Dave Potter is now out of the race, and that's tragic. He was in 7th place and he's out of the race. So Potter joins the previous retirements who could have done well. Newbold, Ballington, Spencer, Crosby and Sheen. And still the race speed continues at a steady 133, 133.3 a lap. And as I have said before, that is a speed of some 113 miles an hour. Coming up now, underneath the bridge, completing lap 26 into lap 27 in this 28-lap race. And the order is Roberts, and now, for the first time that I can remember, Middelburg actually crosses the line in 2nd place. He's got ahead of Mamola. And am I seeing things, John, or is Mamola dropping back a bit?
Well, at that point he did, but it may have been purely the effect of Middelburg having gone by. This can affect the aerodynamically and such like, but at this moment, the gap is in fact increasing.
And Mamola comes up out of the bubble, the Perspex windscreen in front of him, sits up, increases the wind resistance, and now on lap 27 in this 28-lap race, it does start to look as though Mamola has got Christian Saron closing on him, and Christian Saron, of course, has been lapped. That's the man in blue in the Hanger Straight. And look at the way Middelburg's machine is wobbling under braking. He's really giving it everything he's got on lap 27.
I certainly don't quite understand why this type of gap has been developed at this stage, unless Mamola is in some form of problem, or unless he has a lot of reserve.
Well,
he
must be.
He's in problem.
Mamola must have a problem, because look, he's right out of the picture now. He's dropped back. The previous winner, the 1980 British Grand Prix winner, Randy Mamola, is going to be taken shortly by Christian Saron, the man who he lapped a lap or so ago. And so if Mamola could catch, and there he goes. So the race for Mamola is not run, because if he can still keep going, he can still finish in 3rd position. He's a long way ahead of Mark Fontaine. But now Middelburg leads for the first time in this race on lap 28, which is the last lap. This doughty Dutchman, 29-year-old Jack Middelburg, is leading the British Grand Prix on the last lap. And it is the 4th leader that we have had. We started off with Crosby leading. Then into the lead went Mamola. Roberts has led. And now Jack Middelburg is not only leading, but it looks as though he has been riding a tactical race, because he's making a breakaway and creating a real gap between himself and Kenny Roberts.
It certainly looks this way, but on the other hand, here we've got Kenny coming up on braking again, but not quite doing it.
This is Stowe Corner. There is only half a lap to go. From third into fourth gear, from fourth into fifth, it's 150 miles an hour as they come up towards club and slow down and brake and go down through the gearbox and up towards Abbey.
And he's getting out of club and getting past those two lappers is going to be the crucial point. This is going to be it.
Middelburg must win this British Grand Prix if he just keeps going. Unless something happens with these tail-enders in front of him, and he's going past Franco Uncini, number 12. And Middelburg goes into Woodcote corner, and Roberts is closing right up on him. You can see for yourselves, it's just like 1979, and there's only going to be about 2 machine lengths in it. But a wonderful victory for Jack Middelburg, who has won the second Grand Prix in his career, and he couldn't have won the second Grand Prix in a better place. And Randy Mamola coasts across the line to finish in third place. And there is Middelburg's Dutch sponsor, absolutely and understandably and totally justifiably beside himself with emotion. And Middelburg actually looking quite relaxed inside that helmet of his. And Lucanelli is right down out of the points as Jack Middelburg, helmet off. He must be feeling absolutely on top of the world, does his victory lap at Silverstone. The Marlborough British Grand Prix of 1981, won totally against expectations by number 11, 29-year-old Jack Middelburg, from Kenny Roberts, the reigning world champion in second place, who said he was going to ride for a win and who just failed to make it. Third on the Suzuki, Randy Mamola. Fourth position, Bernard Foe, the Frenchman. In fifth position, Marc Fontaine on a Yamaha. Sixth, Bert van Delmen on another Yamaha.